our indigenous right to freedom. When we talk about marginalization, or we talk about people who are not being heard, or communities or segments of the society, then I think the most vulnerable and the most targeted communities facing the worst crimes ever committed on mankind throughout history are the people of Kashmir and Palestine. We have seen, we have witnessed crusades in the past, World War I, World War II, even before that. But right now, what we are witnessing, what challenges we are facing, especially in Kashmir, which I don't think we have ever witnessed in any war zone or in any battle, that there is a nation which is completely defenseless, which doesn't have a defense system, and it is combating the highest occupational forces of the world. And at the same time, what we are seeing right now in Palestine, the resistance forces that you have there, you have Hamas and others, that they are working on ways of physically defending their soil, and for that they are challenging the writ of the state of Israel. Yet we are seeing the response that's coming from Netanyahu, all the threats we are witnessing right now is so shocking, and it's something which the Palestinian people have been suffering in the past, but open threats that we're going to transform this into rubbles. This is what the Israel is saying, and they are going to do carpet bombings over there on a nation which is already, in the past few days, has reoccupied many regions of Gaza, which was turned into West Bank by the occupation of Israel. Because I'm talking to university level students, it is not going to be a talk on emotionalism or a talk about generalization. What we need to focus right now is that Kashmir and Palestine being the most marginalized communities in the world, and Kashmiris being even more vulnerable than the Palestinians, because at least the voice of the Palestinians is being heard. There's no water there in Gaza right now. There's no light over there. Schools and hospitals are being demolished by the state of Israel. And the world, especially, it's a tragedy that the Western world has completely sided with the narrative of the state of Israel that the resistance forces are doing terrorism. But let's get facts straight. According to the UN also, recently during the UN sessions, the UNGA sessions that were going on, there was the UN Secretary General also mentioned that 150,000 Palestinians have lost their lives because of this conflict and because of attacks on them. And we witnessed a moment of silence also yesterday by the United Nations. But is that enough? Are these lip services or these things enough for us? When will we practically see action? So that's where we need to work. We need to work on creating a constituency for peace, for reconciliation, for listening, for training, for peace workshops, for peaceable schools around the world. Peace does not mean surrender. If people think that there is a peace pact, that they have given up on their struggle, no, not at all, because we have seen numerous confidence building measures between India and Pakistan also during various dialogues, Indo-Pak dialogues. Yet we have each time seen that India has backed out of those dialogues. But the problem is that when you have to reach towards a solution, there are steps that you take. Sometimes you take baby steps. Sometimes the situation is so urgent that on war footing, you have to save Kashmiris or the Palestinians from war footing and from genocide. So in those kind of situations, I think because I could go on and on about the marginalized communities all over the world and even within Pakistan and speak about interfaith harmony, but just a few days back when I was going through the current global scenario, I realized that there is one factor which maybe we could, as academicians, as scholars, as professors, as thinkers, could work on, could create a new form of reconciliation measures. Because it's not like what is written in the book will always be applicable. Times keep changing. We have sudden challenges. we don't know how to react to them. So that's where great minds intervene. Genius minds come forward, they do brainstorming and they come forward, and I requested the Vice Chancellor Sahab also that kindly if you could establish a specific Kashmir society, and he was more than welcome. They already have societies working here, but I desired that one we should have specially focusing on the plight of Kashmiri people, and we want a mini think tank. We want ideas, because now it is a world, it's a battle of ideas. That is the biggest jihad. That through ideas, it's not about weaponry also, physical weaponry. It's about how you can make your ideas for change, as agents of change, of agents of peace, of agents of inclusivity, to bring ideas to save the world from any greater catastrophe. Because if God forbid, right now, peace activists, scholars, academicians, politicians, civil society, human rights activists, youth, students do not come forward to work as a constituency of peace, I'm afraid what's happening in Ukraine and Russia, nuclear codes were exchanged between India and Pakistan on 27th of February 2019. We were very close towards a micro-nuclear exchange, and chances are very high. The way the election here is coming for Modi, he can go to any extent. And what is happening in Israel, Palestine right now. So where are we heading? One micro-nuclear exchange, the world is eroded. Almost 3/4 of mankind will be affected. Global famine, global ice age, so many things can happen. So that's where we need to really start thinking that how can we go forward. And I have a small proposal which I will be sharing globally also, we are working on that, is my deep desire to work towards interfaith harmony. Interfaith harmony for me right now in this context of global peace and global securities and global economies stands for the most marginalized communities. And in that, I think the key stakeholders of the various religions in the world, because every religion, end of the day, talks about humanity, talks about brotherhood, and all these things are part of their main core principles of religions around the world, be it Judaism, be it Islam, be it Sikhism, be it Christianity, be it any other religion, be it Hinduism. Generally, they all talk about mankind. So on that basis, right now, that iron is hot, we need to work on creating an environment of sending peace delegations, be it to Egypt, for the injured people of Palestine, be it to the global, not the global political leaders, because I think this political system is also dying down globally, the current one, because from unipolar world, we are moving towards a multipolar world. And nobody is taking ownership of such chronic conflicts. And don't think that you're sitting in Faisalabad, you won't be affected by it. The whole world order will be totally, it will change, and there will be nobody taking ownership of that.
निगरान वज़ीर आज़म की मुआविन ख़ुसूसी बराए इंसानी